Welcome back to another non-judgmental podcast.
Non-judgmental does not support aggressive and violent sex during metal, but it does. No, sex with. Are you there, man? Oh my God! Non-judgmental. I'm gonna be judgmental.
Welcome to Non-Judgmental Podcast. I'm James McGruff. We got
Vitamin Nick
and
Leo.
And this week we're talking about what are we talking about this week, guys?
it was
Busy.
that
did nobody?
it was that
Did we all forget to?
Was it?
Queens of the Stone Age. Queens of the Stone Age villains.
Oh.
Queens of the Stone Age villains. I've actually checked out the album, but
Well, I remember you discussing that with me earlier. You said it wasn't like lullabies. So what would you more closely relate this one to?
almost, I hate to say it, something more like it's almost more upbeat, kind of like Muse. Is that weird? Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say Muse?
A little bit. Are we still talking about metal?
We're not really not talking about metal. Like I said, it was just like I heard crickets and Queens of the Stone Age. It really got me by the cover.
I actually listened to a little bit of it when I realized it was one of the new releases this week, and I was checking throughout the stuff. Not a lot of stuff coming out this week, which next week that'll be a remedy, just a little throw out.
Dear Desolation.
New album's coming out, yeah.
Dear Desolation.
So I almost wish it was 5 days from now so we could actually enjoy it. But no, I like that Queens of the Stone Age. I was always a big fan of them growing up, man. Like I like that type of that.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's like hardcore metal. It's obviously not. I'm not gonna say it's bar rock, man. I think it's more of like a kind of like a. I don't know. I don't know where you go. Maybe a prog metal, kind of like a prog metal.
Is it prog metal?
Maybe it's like progressive, Because it's obviously very talent driven, Kind of reminds me of that Clutch feeling, like the type of vein like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people tell me they're like, Clutch really is metal. Like you might listen to some of the new stuff, and yeah, I could agree with you there. But at the same time, like if you ever listen to Binge and Purge and shit, like you can definitely tell when something's not metal, but it's kind of hard to tell when something absolutely is too. So it's kind of weird. Is it
really that hard?
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, usually within about the first 30 seconds, I would say, if I'm listening to something, I can tell you if it was or was not. I'm saying, unless we're listening to like an opening track and it's just, like chainsaws and cat screaming in the background, I don't know. It might lead into something
chainsaws and cat screaming. It's kind of metal.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man, because I've listened to some stuff that kicks in real hardcore electronic right off the bat, and if you don't know who it is, you might skip past, and the metal might be a good minute or two into it. And then what if you've judged metal before you were able to give it a chance to be non-judgmental?
That's what we have friends for. They're more patient than us.
I know.
Right.
Speaking of friends this week, we are going to record a show and have a couple interviews and phone callers in there due to unfortunate circumstance. Wasn't able to do so. So this episode is us literally figuring out what to do with this episode. So just going to talk about what I've been listening to this week. A little bit of metal homework here, as is the theme at Non-Judgmental, is to try to turn yourself on to stuff that you haven't heard or stuff that you have heard and just completely shit all over because you were a closed-minded dick like me. So, not being a closed-minded dick, I tried Devil Driver out this week again. A band I've absolutely stayed away from. I just was like, quit looking for songs.
What album did you go for?
I didn't go for an album. I just hit a YouTube playlist and just let it go.
Based on Hold Back the Day?
I didn't pay attention to what was playing.
How far did it play before it took you out of Devil Driver?
Only maybe, I think I listened to 4 or 5 of them, and then there was one I just didn't really like, but I was like, oh, this is kind of... It's groove metal. It's not, and I'm a fan of groove metal, so I can't really junk on it. It's definitely not my favorite. Like if I'm going to listen to groove metal, I'd way rather listen to Machine Head or Pantera or something of that nature. But I don't know. Like I felt like I keep trying to remember these bands that I used to just sit around and someone go, oh man, you see I got this new Devil Driver shirt, and I'd be like, that's stupid, you're dumb, I don't like them in my opinion. You know, I like trying to get out of that mind frame. I think
so you were that guy when I wore a metal shirt. You would be like, yeah, you're dumb.
I think a lot of metalers grow up and get that way, and like especially when you get in your early 20s and you get that nice adult cynicism,
I mean,
sunk into you.
What did you think when you looked at the kids wearing the Manson shirts growing up? Like, you didn't look at them being like, oh man, they're metal, we should probably hang out.
Just a little harder than emo.
I was one of those dicks though too, so I mean I can't say anything.
I never saw you really wear too many Manson shirts.
I went and saw him live.
Huh?
Went and saw him live.
I believe you.
I still love that Portrait of American Family album.
I saw you wearing more Pantera than anything back in high school.
Well, because it was the Kings of Metal.
Exactly.
And they were goddamn glorious.
I'm saying...
Why would I wear Pantera?
I remember you...
I don't understand the question, sir.
Like, you were kind of just metal.
Was I metal? Was I metal growing up?
Yeah, I mean...
Are you fucking shitting me? Like, Soil, you're the one that... Chimera.
I was always throwing bands out to you cats, wasn't I?
I mean, as many bands we could discover new, you still had a plethora of ones we hadn't heard of that you just had in your little bank that you would just release out to us as we would progress on. Be like, oh, you like this? Wait, hold on.
Check out this nipple rubber, guys.
Nipple rubber.
Look at this. Payback by Flaw. Payback. And My Letter, and then all of them. Like,
I was really good at finding stuff when it first came out, man. So, like, that was but that I always liked that.
Your mom probably had the Metal Channel growing up.
There's a good chance.
I believe that we did on the cable here in local TV town.
Yeah, I think
we were able to check out the Metal Channel on there. But also, man, like we had the old school, and they don't have a lot of these anymore. But we had what some of you listeners, if you're too young, might not remember, are local franchised or independently owned record stores here in town where you could go buy plethora of used records, and it wasn't like it wasn't like an FYE or any or that kind of deal. These were homegrown places, man, and you could actually go in there and they would sell almost anything, and it was always like dirt cheap, like you weren't going in for a used record and paying like I remember going and picking a new album up and it was like like $10-11, but you can always go over there and find like a $3 or $4 version of something you would dying to get.
Right.
And you totally miss those things now that we're older. But it's like then again they're like, oh, you can just go download it online.
I kind of miss. Did any of y'all remember when I was doing the street teams?
Yeah, the street teams, man, where you're going out and you're passing out. They still do them.
I know they probably do it, but at the same time...
Our gentleman from last week actually was part of them and got free tickets to a show recently because he did it.
Really?
Yeah.
I do that. It was an awesome thing to get into. I mean, one, I got to hear a ton of new stuff coming out. And two, it was like actual CD demos, stickers, stuff like that. Like stuff to get people hyped into it,
Yeah.
Shovel.
No, dude, Shovel. Yeah, I was so heavy when I first heard them. I was like, dude, they got 2 stickers, bro. This is so crazy.
I've never heard anything so unique. There'll never be anything again this insane.
You those harmonics, bro?
Dude, it was so unique. We're like, dude, everybody would believe us if we told them that this was our band, bro. Everybody.
Let everyone know. That's us. I got to be non-judgmental this week against Devil Driver. I might try out a little more because somebody gave me recommendations of songs. They're a big fan. Figured, why the hell not?
Right.
Give it a go. I didn't dislike what I heard. I don't know if I necessarily like it.
Right.
It's kind of one of those. I'm like dead in the middle.
Dude.
What you guys been listening to?
All right. So I'm looking through the channels.
Yeah.
VH1 Classic. What? Okay.
No, hey.
No. Metal Madness.
All right.
Hold on. Let me check this out. Hit It. Metal from the 80s and 90s, and I'm like, alright, let me give it a chance. Maybe it was the first one was like White Snake or whatever the fuck it was, and then Their Eyes. But then I see something that's like, it's really intriguing, and of course...
Can I pause this real quick? Just when you said that, it gave me a memory. I don't know why I thought of this, but I remember, do you remember when we used to get music, spoiler alert, all kids did, off the internet illegally, off the torrents years ago? Remember we would get all the torrents and the music? I remember going through my music site that I used to get stuff on. Man, this had to be a decade ago. And I remember one torrent was like gigs and gigs of data, and it just said 36 Whitesnake albums. And I was like, who the fuck needs 36 Whitesnake albums? Like, I didn't even realize Whitesnake had enough material for 36 albums. Some of that's got to be doubled up.
Bro, like, I don't understand. Like, do you have a problem with Whitesnake?
No, I'm not shitting on. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying this was years ago.
Them.
I was looking for music to download, and I seen I just clicked on there one day and refreshed. Is there anything new? And somebody had uploaded a discography, and it was like, it just plainly said 36 Whitesnake albums. And I went in there and I was like, holy shit, this is actually 36 Whitesnake albums.
Like,
I did not know that Whitesnake had enough content to cover 36
had
records.
to be some re-releases.
Yeah, it's something on there. I was like,
3
wow.
demos.
And when you said that, that was the first thing that popped into my head was seeing just that. Because I remember laughing at it like, I listened to a lot of music, but I had no idea that Whitesnake was jamming 36 records. Whatever. Hey, but you know what? Even if it is duplicates, it can't be many. So they still got to have 15 to 20 records. I mean, that's a fucking impressive career.
The video that caught
Who knows?
me on the Metal Madness
thing
that was going on, the video that caught me though, Dream Theater, of course. Like I'm saying, but it's like, what the fuck? Like, how did I miss this completely? I don't know if it went over my head or like on the sides or what, but I just never came in contact with anything. Something like Dream Theater.
So you're still on that 2 weeks in after you got Metal Homework with it.
I didn't expect this here on VH1 Classic, Metal Madness, and it's Dream Theater. And I feel like the dude...
And it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Dude, but I feel like the dude from Ancient Aliens, when I'm telling everybody, he's like, dude, just Dream Theater. Just trust me. Just check it out. Just trust me out. Just check it. Theater. And
it's great.
And like I said, I completely understand anybody that's got a problem with Metallica because of the fact that the Dream Theater didn't get the recognition that it should have.
It's in but it's I don't know. It's almost in a different type of music.
Just more talent and less.
I mean, I'm not gonna say one's more talented than the other, or one's less more. Like one Metallica just happened to hit that. They just hit the right stride and got on a roll, and they got good marketing behind them. And they had tragedy early in their career, and they fought back from it. And
side note, anybody see the one? It's one guitar that this one dude. I know that there's been a guitar.
Oh, where he plays the Metallica.
Other people playing.
It's 3 people playing one guitar.
No, sir. This is one person playing one guitar, and he's playing all the Metallica from one part.
Yeah, even like he was tapping on it, drumming on it. Yeah, I've seen it.
No, you're wrong.
Are you talking about where it's black?
No.
Like, it's all black.
This dude is standing there. It is a wooden guitar. It's not an acoustic. So I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's a wooden guitar, and he is playing all the parts with his own fingers. And
share the video. Share the video to the site.
It's on Metal Hammer.
Okay. Well, if you get a chance, try to get a link and post it on the Facebook. Also, this week it was announced that. Did you know that Cliff Burton, Metallica's bassist, the one that passed in the accident in their 80s? His dad takes those royalty checks and saves them up and gives them to the local high school.
I read that.
Did you see that?
I read the post that you shared on.
Isn't that just absolutely just wonderful?
It's on our page.
Like that is the community right there, man. Like somebody just years later. I when I found that out, man, it was a little bit of a tear jerk. So,
he's got the picture of his dad with the skull.
Oh, dude, it's wicked.
I was like, man.
It's wicked, man. So, but yeah, that's really cool. I heard that. Metal Madness on the VH1 Classic.
Oh, VH1 Classic.
They play anything else that really caught your attention, or after that, were you just like everything else is going to be terrible? Fuck this.
Exactly. That's actually what exactly what happened.
Time to listen to some Dire.
Surprised to actually see the video for it though, because as much as I watched some of this shit on YouTube, it seemed like I never really saw any actual official music videos for Dream Theater, because it seemed like they were just so underground and shit. But I'm trying
definitely a massive mainstream act that just kind of floats on there. I just think they're one of those like niche appeal type bands. Like you're either gonna really love them or you're not gonna get it. You're gonna be like, obviously this is good, but
you can definitely come back to it though.
Yeah.
I first heard Dream Theater long before I understand Dream Theater.
That's what I'm saying.
They were like on one of the 3rd or 2nd or 4th or Guitar Hero games or whatever. You remember those? I never was a huge fan of them, but I remember coming in and watching people play that, and I was like, The Dream Theater. I was like, I listened to them. That's it's kind of neat to see them on. Those games deserve credit for getting a lot of people, the generation into that.
Hangar 18, Megadeth.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that song, but playing that on Guitar Hero, I felt like a fucking rock star.
I'm telling you, man, when it comes to Megadeth, a little dab will do you.
Just a little.
Unless a little dab will do you.
But like, I got the greatest hits of Megadeth. Too much. I'm saying, I think Benicio del Toro said it in fucking Fear and Loathing. It's too much. I couldn't handle it. It all sounds.
I love Megadeth.
I've got a greatest hit album. I'm fucking let you get, I guess. I don't like. That's all.
They're one of the ones that's escaped me from ever getting to see live, man. Like they're one of those bands that I kind of grew up disliking. Like just being 100% honest here. I never liked Dave Mustaine's voice, and watch that cough, man. Cold going around.
Hey.
And it just didn't resonate with me, his voice. But as I grew, I kind of your taste changed. I kind of hear it, and I'm like, it really works with the sound that they create and the sound of music he writes. And then I went back and listened to a lot of those, and now my opinion's completely changed. One of my favorite bands.
I don't know, but I know that Necrogoblicon is actually on Facebook, and I checked out their Facebook page and whatnot, and I kind of looked into some of the videos that they're sharing. Like, I see the appeal for it. A part of me can't get underneath the spell to kind of really see it for what it is, because I can still watch Army of Darkness with, Bruce and stuff, but I can't.
Dude, I love the Necrogoblicon.
Damn it. I can't do the I want the Necrogoblicon, but I want the Necronomicon to be returned to whoever has to.
Yeah, whenever I hear a Necrogoblicon, I want to give them their sacred book. I want to join them on the quest, man.
I guess that's what
it's my ringtone, like literally at work all the time. Like my phone kicks off with "You're a failure." You can just hear that little "You're a failure." Little goblin screech.
I checked it out. It kind of reminded me of like what else was it from back in the day? I guess Fraggle Rock. No, that's silly. Maybe like a
come to Goblin Rock. Who doesn't love Fraggle Rock? We're just gonna say it right here today, right here on Non-Judgmental.
Fraggle Rock is metal.
Fucking metal.
It is. I think that it kind of brings me back to the non-metal influences.
Non-metal influences.
Non-metal influences on metal.
Eureka's Castle.
Is that one of yours?
I watched it too.
No. I can't do it.
I'm sorry.
I can't do it.
Sorry, not all of us were listening to Pantera.
No shit.
I'm kidding.
How dare you hold that against us? I don't know, but like, I think of video games played a lot of different types of music and stuff, and I'm trying to think, like, most of the games that I played really didn't feature any type of like metal.
I feel like most Capcom video games were basically just like MIDI versions of speed metal.
Like baby metal?
I don't know, man. Does anybody remember Maximum Carnage for the Sega Genesis?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because it was like that video game where you were Spider-Man and Venom, and you were going after Carnage.
Okay.
Right? But the soundtrack was based off the Green Jelly album, 333. You remember Green Jelly, Three Little Pigs? Okay. Little pig, let me in. Yeah. They wrote an album, and they actually wrote a song for that. Maximum Carnage, they wrote a song for that video game, but when you turn on the game, it actually plays the MIDI of that song. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's like it's metal as shit.
It just fits.
It did, man. Yeah.
Like I want to go back and see what type of songs they really based some of those MIDI files off of.
Big nerd here, dude. I love professional wrestling. I've always loved the big theatrics of it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of that thing. We've talked about that with different type of bands that I like here on the show.
Right.
What do a lot of wrestlers use for entrance music? Metal.
Saying if you got a wrestler that comes out to some non-metal,
I think it was CM Punk that came out to Kill Switch Engage.
Yeah.
Right? The hero that still burns
and
inside
then he came out
whatever.
to Cult's Personality.
He changed it up?
Yeah.
Man.
I'm just saying.
Sorry, that Kill Switch, that's the song
you
that
have
comes out.
a wrestler that comes out to some Black Tongue, and they're going to annihilate. I don't care what's happening. Even if it was scripted otherwise, that song would probably get them hyped, and they would just start face planting people.
Yeah. It just goes to show you that metal just seeps into everything that we love. You can love it as long as you want, but metal's getting there, and it's going to take it from you. You're going to be trying to watch your children's shows with your babies one day, and it's going to have a metal interest. But SpongeBob. Pantera was on SpongeBob once. I'm not even kidding.
I mean, here's the real question.
I mean, you guys know that, right?
Do you feel SpongeBob was originally made for children?
Yes.
Or do you feel?
Yeah, the same as Ren and Stimpy was made for me as a kid.
Yes.
Okay.
Watch them, man. They're practically the same show.
Okay, fair enough. That's a fair
Okay, yeah,
statement. I'm
I
just
agree.
wondering, it's like almost if they don't make a cartoon geared towards adults slightly and then market it towards
Yeah,
children.
season
Of course
8.
they do. It's brilliant, though. That way your kids can enjoy it, and then you at least aren't bored out your fucking mind. This is something fun to watch,
SpongeBob
too.
was fucking excellent at that.
Yeah, SpongeBob is excellent at that, man. It's got that Ren and Stimpy type, almost gross humor feel that keeps us entertained, but it's got that, childlike
Ren and
fucking
Stimpy
wonder
was
to
pretty
it.
fucking
Keeps the
gross,
kids
though.
all into it. And, dude, I love it. But, yeah, dude, there's like an episode, it's one of the Sandy episodes, like in season 2 or 3 or whatever. The music's all done by Pantera. They literally start off as SpongeBob, blah, 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 see? And then when it starts the episode, it's like, wow, and it fucking just has the big flame logo, and it's like, feature music by Pantera.
Facts are
I found that out watching it on TV.
I remember you showing me that.
But SpongeBob's been on for 30 years, 20 years, hasn't it?
Since
Dude,
the late
it's
90s.
been 20 years.
Been going for it. I mean, high school.
It's only got 11 or 12 or 13 seasons or something like that, but it's still going.
I don't know. I don't even know how seasons count in Nickelodeon.
I don't know how TV works.
How many seasons of Rugrats do they really have? Do you count
I
all
don't-
grown up? Or do you,
How deep are we getting into this time?
I don't know, man. It's hard not to talk about this stuff.
Sidetrack.
We officially did. I mean, we hit Rugrats. I was sitting here. I was like, dude, this is either going to one of two things: Rugrats or Doug. and within about 5 minutes of that thought, this just happened.
All right, so let's just put that. We'll just put that to bed right now. And
I checked out some Tempter.
Tempter. Was that one you were showing me beforehand?
Yeah, it's got that. The lead vocalist he looks crazy, but he's all into it. He's got some serious skill going on. I feel like they're going for this bit of a satanic feel, but they don't want to do black metal, which I can totally respect.
But hell, Satan.
Come on.
Yeah.
But
Yes, give him a hail.
But that and oh gosh, what was that other one? Let me see if
I'm going to have to change subjects right quick because I'm telling you right now there's a gauntlet going on the Facebook page.
Yeah?
Angry Gordon has shared what he calls the most metal fucking music video that he's got.
Yeah?
And I believe it was Meshuggah Demerja. I can't even recall what the name of the song he posted.
Demerge.
I had to come back and say, listen, I don't know if it's more metal, but it'll definitely give it a run for its money with the True Beast from ASB, whose shirt I'm still fucking wearing because I just want him back. I can't help it. Who else has got anything? I think there was another listener that ended up posting something onto that particular thread. It's a gauntlet of sort, and we need feedback. Therefore,
are we just talking about the heaviest videos or heaviest songs?
What did Angry say? Heavier song.
A heavier song.
Heavier song.
I'm going to sit down and see what I can figure out on that.
I've got the video.
All right, it's a little late because this
is the heaviest song.
It looks like listener Ian Pence came up with Death in Black. Let me look here. He commented with the video. It's not showing all the content. God Gory and Emperors. I Am the Black Wizards.
nonetheless.
I promise that I wasn't just nonchalantly not reading that. I literally was having trouble here.
Nonetheless, I haven't seen any other posts from Gruff or Leo on the and I just figured.
No, I haven't took the heavier song challenge yet.
Okay.
I was working, so I was kind of in my own metal homework.
Completely
But
understand.
now that I've seen it, because all I saw was that he posted that Meshuggah, because
Right.
I trust when it comes to the Angry's metal. There's not
I
many
think
people
I'm
I trust
no,
second to
that-
none. But
that
I did
song-
not read that word. I bet at the
I'm-
beginning of that.
I'm
I didn't know
very-
he was putting a challenge out.
I'm very familiar with the song he's talking about, and it's very heavy. It's constant. It's in your face like the whole time, but at the same time, like.
Are you familiar with the Beast? The True Beast? Or Grand Tofu?
Me and him are gonna have a challenge on this. I'm gonna see if I can find a heavier song.
I hope so. I hope all the fans.
We've been going back and forth on it right now because he posted a Pantera's Domination on Friday, and I came back with Downstone the Crow.
Right.
And to me, I don't think it's about heavier.
I mean, dude, honestly, like
I think it's a mood thing.
We can.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be parameters.
How
about this? Hey, hold on.
Let's instead of a heavy challenge, we make.
I have an idea for
heaviest song ever. Playlist.
I absolutely agree with that, but for this specific challenge on this Meshuggah song, here's what I want you two to do. And we're recording this, so I can't back out afterwards by fancy words. You guys come up with parameters. Give us 3 parameters for what, kind of the votes on what the heaviest song is. And we'll take Gordon's, and I'll find one that combat it. And we'll, when we turn them both in, you guys kind of pick a winner.
Like so 3 different groups that we're going to judge on how heavy that song is based on those 3 different.
Yes.
What are the parameters going to be?
You guys create them and don't tell us.
Oh gosh.
And then Gordon can pick a song, and then I can pick a song. Man. That is, but I mean, how else do we do this fair? He's telling me, I bet you can't find a heavier song. Maybe I can on this one because
those parameters are hard because it's just like what would you consider to be heavy? I feel like that's an entire episode in itself, and what it can break down into because you can't call speed. You know, if you call speed, then you're going to take out bands like Black Tongue who are just heavy as fuck, but don't worry about getting speedy with it at all. But it's just constant breakdowns in your face, deep tone. Then you can be like, well, I like that down tune sound. That's got to be what makes it heavy. So you're going to discredit every, 6 and 7 string guitar band. And it's like, man, that gets really judgy on that. And it's like, well, let's just talk about guttural vocals. And it's just like, all right, so you're going to base an entire band's heaviness just off one vocal.
I was thinking rock to roll ratio, basically. When it's fucking metal and rocking and shit, and then rolling.
Or we just kind of headbang challenge.
Well, if it's a headbang challenge, see, that's hard because a lot of people can't headbang to bands like Meshuggah and feel like they're doing it accurately. So, like, you would disqualify one of the heaviest bands out there.
The heaviest bands out there is just like you would just snap your neck. Alright, so we're back.
We're back here at Non-Judgmental with a very frustratingly quandary on our hands as the Angry Gordon, I just found out, cursed us with the bet the week that he wasn't going to make it in. That bet is we couldn't find a heavier song than Meshuggah's, what was the name? Demurge. And, all of us just seem to think that that's a load of horse shit. So we're going to take him up on that bet. And if you guys
I don't want to take away from the heaviness of the song.
No, by no means. No, but we gave it a second listen on the break.
To say that is the heaviest song ever is a pretty steep accusation.
It's a heavy accusation. Heavy.
Yes.
Nonetheless, I know I challenged him with the True Beast, All Shall Perish. I know it's 2006 or whatever, but even back then, I felt like that was heavier. But even talking about female vocalists a little bit, I wrestled a band once, but I didn't vote. I didn't post that. I just put up the.
We'll say the female vocalists. We'll get into that next episode, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. It's definitely something because I've been listening to a lot of different bands, and quite a few of them have had some lady front.
Definitely Ginger.
Lady fronted that is just absolutely. Oh yeah, that Ginger, man. I am a huge fan of it right there. So.
That's my shit. But Meshuggah songs, Future Breed Machine.
Yeah,
that's that show. It's like dun 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 dun. Like.
So that's your combat. That's you combating Angry Gordon's
I've got
challenge
that
and bet on the Facebook page.
I know.
You know what I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna go opposite spectrum, man. I listened to it, but I'm gonna go with Gojira's Ocean Planet.
Okay.
That to me is one of the most down and dirty, heavy sons of bitches.
That's pretty heavy.
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna go with one of me and Angry's personal favorites, Chimera.
Of course.
I'm gonna go with The Flame.
The Flame.
Because I think that maybe it might just edge it out slightly. So, what about you? What are the If you were betting something of value against Angry with heavy music, what would you?
I mean, gosh, if he's gonna bring up Meshuggah and say that's the heaviest song ever, it's pretty steep. I mean, it's a solid song, it really is. But if you want to get into heavy, Bleed, dude, those drum triplets throughout the entire song, never stopping at all. Like Thomas Hake he is a machine.
Even with Swarm, I remember you let me first experience the song Swarm, and you're like, just sit there, just wait.
So wow, you guys are combating Angry with more Meshuggah.
I'm telling you.
I'm saying like
You picked the wrong one, Gord. You picked the wrong one.
Heavy words. You should have kept the word bet out of it.
No shit.
Why would Gordon give us this bet? What kind of fucking curse is this? That goddamn son of a bitch. And then he doesn't show up. He knew it. He knew it fucking Friday when he put this shit out there. He was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking make a bet, and there's no way to challenge me on it because it's fucking impossible to beat someone at something that is an opinion. So thanks for just making us all sit here and then he doesn't show up. He's like, oh yeah, I'll see you then. I didn't see that. I'm just kidding. He didn't do that. He didn't blow us off. But he happens to not be here this week, and we can't debate him on this shit. So that's the curse. He knew this was going to happen. He was just like, check this. I'm gonna bomb the second half of the show on him.
I don't know. So I mean, Annihilation of the Wicked. No.
There you go. I need to sit and think about this one. I didn't know the word bet was on there. I just thought he was posting his metal picks.
What are we betting? Like, what are we
I don't
betting?
know if there's an actual bet. Me and him need to come up with something. And he's coming into town soon, so we're going to be...
I bet my opinion's better than yours. What's the bet?
No, there needs to be an actual... There needs to be something at stake on this. Between me and him.
Oh, just y'all two.
That's how it is.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Well, he took a challenge on
I've
it.
been non-judgmental.
Seriously, guys. Be good.
Good luck with that here. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up for a second. We're gonna think on this because this is happening mid-episode. That's how it goes down.
This song right here. Okay. People might not have known.
The song I've ever seen anybody go crazier over was Raining Blood.
Which is another thing I wanted to bring up.
Dude,
to Gordon.
I watched them play that from, we watched half of it in the crowd in Huntington in 2001. And I went up in the stands to find a friend of ours. We went up there for a minute. While we were up in the stands, I'll never forget this. There was this, long-haired, old-school, vest-wearing metal dude jamming out to the Slayer. And he, as he was sitting there, he stands up right as they start playing Raining Blood. And his girlfriend's like trying to like sit him back down, like, I can't remember. I'm just gonna call him Dave. Like, Dave, get back down, get back down. She's grabbing his arm, she's pulling him. And he's just like a zombie, just yanking away from her repeatedly and like walking like haphazardly, his knees banging against the back of other seats, like getting closer to like the edge of like the railing above like the floor area, in most arenas. And he gets up there and she's like, come back down, you're acting crazy, what's wrong with you? And his eyes were just focused on them up on stage. And she comes over to him and she tries to grab him, and she grabs him by the hand and he just yanks his arm hard as he can away from her, like spinning her almost completely in front of him. And he just looks at her and he's just like, leave me alone, Satan's got me by the fucking hand. Yeah. And then he just pushes her into the seat next to her, man, and just headbangs for the entire duration of this song, like hair just going everywhere. As soon as it's done, he literally just gets up and looks back at her and then sits down in the seat, man. And this chick's face is just fucking like unbelievable, like eyes dinner plates the whole time staring at him, like what the hell just happened? Like it literally was like I watched this guy get possessed by the Slayer for the duration of this song, like he, and the rest of the show he just sat there kind of like headbang a little bit, chilled out, man. For some reason, when they started playing Rain and Blood, he went absolutely fucking bonkers by himself.
Would it be Slayer or would it be Satan? Like, 'cause I think Slayer.
Well, I mean,
Satan
you know,
has
obviously
to
Slayer triggered him to be. I mean, Satan obviously had him by the hand,
okay.
you know, and at least enough to push
I
his
think that's
girlfriend.
just what you tell your normal girlfriend when she doesn't understand the metal, just to get her to leave you the fuck alone.
Click in a cloud.
Because, like, you could be like, no, let me enjoy the metal, and they're going to be like, oh, shut up, this is not real, you don't have to enjoy this. But if
There's
you're
too
like,
much screaming.
Satan's got me by the hand, then she's like,
What?
What? I don't I'm calling my pastor.
Yeah, we went back to the floor not long after, man, and I remember Buddy was like, we sat up there all the time. I was like, dude, just sat there chilling the rest of the time. He was like, fucking got a beer, didn't, you know, just like normal day.
There had to be other songs there that at least got them. Because I don't know a whole lot of Slayer.
Certain songs just have that presence.
Seasons
Rain
in
and
the
Blood's
Abyss
like
does it
that.
for me, man. Seasons in the Abyss is probably...
Okay,
Yeah,
but
the whole album, yeah, Seasons, that's one of my...
Well, then that's got to be real metal homework this week.
Yeah,
Seasons of
check
the
it out.
Abyss.
Oh,
It's already
man,
assigned
absolutely.
there,
I will
man.
always
Slash
encourage
it.
people.
In a different mindset and understand.
Yeah. Put yourself in a different mindset.
I've been
check
doing this
out
for
that
a
one.
while, so don't expect a new age sound
Right.
from what they're doing. But
Even
understand what they were when they were, as long as they've been.
I've already said Suicidal Tendencies. I revisited that with the whole body count thing, and because of that, like I got to check out Slayers. What about you, Leo?
I'll be honest. I've been searching for some really good groove metal. It doesn't have to be necessarily gent. You know, I love it. I think usually it gets really groovy. But at the same time, like I want to find something. I've been going down the dark hole of just heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And it started just kind of sounding the same.
It kind of plateaus out, yeah.
It does. I mean, when you sit there and you start looking at all these different bands, and it's all just bands written in that crazy metal font where you can't actually read what their name is, but it's just the whole album posted up, and you're like, listen to it.
You know,
and you're just like, oh.
and it's not that it's bad.
I found a couple. No, it's not that it's bad. I'm not hating on them.
It's
definitely
just
talented, but
your metal taste buds are missing something.
I am. I've been
Cravings.
going deeper and heavier, and I feel like I needed something a little groovy.
That's
What
what
name?
I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. Groove metal bands earlier.
What's that name now, Leo? Who is it? What is the groove band that you're feeling right now?
Oh man, that's the thing. I've discussed plenty.
You just showed me one.
Air.
Yeah, that's the king of it.
What?
Earlier, did you show one earlier?
What?
For the new band, we weren't on air when you were telling us and we were fucking playing those.
I'll tell you this.
What, you talking about, like Tempter and all those other ones?
Yeah.
No, I mean they were new and I liked them.
You know, technically, I would think that when we were talking about
I'm
Primus
like
earlier, if they actually even kind of, because they were heavy, how they fit, I would say they'd be groove metal, because groove metal is kind of that funk feel mixed in with the alternative metal sound.
Head PE-ish?
Brings it out.
No,
Head
see,
PE has some
I'm not really
groove.
going for that type of
I'm just
music
saying.
in my metal. Like
I
I
was gonna
want
throw it out
heavy fucking metal,
Check
right?
out.
But I don't just want constant.
See, when I think of groove
Speed.
metal, I think of like Machine
I like speed,
Head.
but I
think
like
of,
speed to come out with a build up.
Yeah, see, when I think of groove metal, I think of like Machine Head, White Zombie, Fear Factory, bands like that. You know, that Byzantine I was telling you guys to check out, that Cicada Tree, that's a groove fucking metal album as fuck, man.
I really just want some heavy-ass metal that can appreciate a fine groove from time to time.
Raise
I
the
believe
sound.
it's what I'm really
Gojira,
trying to say.
Sepultura, bands like that.
Yes.
That's groove metal.
Yes.
That to me is like the...
I want something
I'm just-
slightly heavier than Gojira. And I'm not trying to take away from Gojira.
Did you check out that Byzantine I put up for Metal Homework?
No.
Check out the Byzantine. There's your
Check
metal
out the
homework.
Byzantine.
The
It's not
vocals
bad.
aren't the death metal guttural growls constantly type deal, but dude,
Well,
the metal's there.
I don't need guttural growls.
Cool.
I do.
You don't.
I really do.
You
though.
got. You get
I
out.
don't-
I need
think
a
you
puppet
understand what we're saying when
master.
we say guttural growls.
Think for your fucking self. or
You
some
like
shit.
that?
That's
You
it.
like? Yeah, that thing.
You
for
like
yourself.
gutturals,
Yeah.
but like the.
It's nothing
Sometimes
like
it just gets into gutturals, the whole album. Like a lot of that abominable putridity.
it. Right.
That's straight gutturals.
Yeah.
You know,
Is Oceano just straight gutturals?
No. He's definitely got the high pitch.
Yeah. Friend said the best other thing about it. Right.
Yeah, the whole point, man. Have fun with it. Check it out. Check that Byzantine. I definitely. If you want something groovy, that's where it's at. I think I'm going to go back and visit some groove metal this week to do some. Since I can't really do too much. Well, metal homework right off the bat. This is for all of us. Friday the 18th, the new Thy Art Is Murder comes out. We all need to check it out.
Dear Desolation.
Everyone needs to check it out. I got to hear a couple tracks off of it.
Slaves.
Puppet Master's definitely a notable one. So
Slaves Beyond Death.
check that out Friday and let us know what you think. Absolutely incredible.
No absolution.
So, yeah, like I think I'm going to go back beyond that being just metal homework that everyone needs. I'm going to go back and just kind of jump into some of those older groups that I was talking about earlier, man. Like I think I'm going to go back and listen to Machine Head's Burn My Eyes and I just recently got done with the Soulfly kick, so I think I'm going to check out some more of that Byzantine, man. They got a few albums. Also, I know I kind of pick on some of that new metal stuff sometimes and be a little judgmental, but Bad Wolves, have you heard of this?
No.
It's a band where he was in that band Divine Heresy, I believe, with Dino from Fear Factor after he left, if I'm correct. And but he was the guy that replaced Ivan Moody on stage with Five Finger Death Punch for this past tour. But it's his band, and they only have one single that's been released so far for their, I guess, debut. But I checked it out, man, and whether it's your thing or not, it's got a killer groove sound to it, and it's very genty, gentlemen.
Did you share that to the page?
I will. I'll do that today,
good.
so we'll get that done. So other than that, man, I can't really think of anything else.
Maybe a little bit of Rod Stewart.
Maybe a little Rod Stewart. Look, I was hanging out with the mom, and it's
an inside joke, but seriously, I missed the whole Rod Stewart thing, like right over top of my head. Spirit FM, you're a son of a bitch. Like I missed a lot of good music because we didn't listen to even just pop radio.
Do that old rock, man. That's what gets you into this stuff. When you're older, it gives you that boost. I love Thin Lizzy, man. I love Thin Lizzy, man, all throughout. But now, if you hear it and then automatically dismiss it and just be like, I don't see how that influenced shit, then you may need to open your mind a little bit.
But then you talk about double leads with Thin Lizzy and shit, and I thought they were I thought they did it better than Iron Maiden.
I'm not a musician, so like I can't look at it from like a calculated musician's point of view, like, oh, here's what they did, and this is so great. But I love the music, man. I love how it sounds.
They had two leads.
I love how it
two lead guitars, two lead vocals.
There's two lead guitarists.
Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, bass player singing.
Think about the boys are back in town.
Yeah, boys are back in town. Jailbreak, Cowboy Song, Dedication. I'll let you hear something here in a minute. Yeah, you never heard it. We're gonna wrap up with that.
What happened?
You know what? We will talk to you next time. This has been Non-Judgmental. Non-Judgmental. Be sure to share us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.